What is going on, FA Nation? John and Pemba here with Howard Bender. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm MLB DFS Game Day Playbook Preview Show. Today, we were taking a look at the 11-game main slate over on DraftKings for Friday. Howard, we got 11 games to talk about here today, following some day baseball action on Thursday. How are we doing, my friend?
We're trying to recover from daytime baseball. It has not been pleasant. It's been a little slap to the face. So I'm very excited about an 11-game main slate on a Friday night. Coors Field is in play. We have some insane pitching matchups to look at for some high-priced guys. We got some weather issues, so there's a lot to get to here. I'll just thank everybody for tuning in here real quick to the Fantasy Alarm YouTube page, and please hit that like and subscribe button as a way to just a free, hey guys, we appreciate what you're doing over there. But I'm ready to dive right in here, John.
Yeah, let's get into it. You mentioned some possible weather seemingly out in the Midwest here. As if you're just looking at DraftKings, they give you the little rain symbol forecast there for Cincinnati, Chicago, and St. Louis. So a couple of matchups that we had our eyes on because your top two price pitchers are in those games. Shota Imanaga going up against the Cardinals in St. Louis. Corbin Burns going up against the White Sox in Chicago. Your 11K and 10-6 starting pitcher. Now, obviously, forecasts can change. We're currently recording the day before. So, this may not be an issue at all come game time. But at least for now, we have to at least put that on your radar that there could be some weather impact here because really the top three starting pitchers on this slate are all in really great spots.
They're all in fantastic spots. Absolutely. I love Imanaga against the Cardinals. They're one of the bottom two or three teams against left-handed pitching. And what he's done has just been, borderline historic, I think. I mean, he's just been absolutely, fancy. He's been everything that Yamamoto was supposed to be.
Right.
And so, so I dig that. St. Louis is just it's a super weak lineup. You also have some win equity built in with the Cubs bats going up against Miles Michaelis. So Imanaga is in a great spot. Burns, it's kind of funny. I was diving into it here, and I did a funky little best bet on MLB on Thursday for Thursday night's game because the White Sox over the last 2 weeks have a 346 WOBA against right-handed pitching. Mm-hmm. And we've seen Corbin Burns kind of, just get a little touched up in the early innings. I'm not saying it's like the be-all, end-all, but if I'm doing a tiebreaker here, Imanaga over Burns for me, and then I would probably even go with Zach Gallen just to save a couple of $100 going up against the Miami Marlins, who are again another bottom feeding team.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, the offense for for Baltimore, Burns doesn't need help with the win equity, but that offense going up against Chris Flexen, I think it was right on the other side of that matchup for Baltimore is going to be, solid.
Yeah,
but
that offense has been trash for the past week, by the way.
Well, yes and no. Gunnar Henderson's been great. The rest of that offense certainly could use a pick me up, but on the Gallen side of things, they're going up against Braxton Garrett, who's a lefty, and we've talked all season long. Arizona, top 2-3 team in almost every offensive category against left-handed pitching. So, Gallen doesn't need a lot of help himself either, just the way he pitches on the mound, but definitely at home going to have the offensive bats behind him. So I don't think you can go wrong with any of the three starting pitchers. Shota for sure is the number one play here. And I guess we'll see maybe where some of the ownership comes in on Burns versus Gallen. I feel like more people just will blindly play Corbin Burns against the White Sox. And maybe that keeps some of the rostership down on Zach Gallen there. Moving down into the mid-tier, that 9K, 8K range, a couple of names. You have Rodon up to 92, going up against the Padres. Cutter Crawford gets the Brewers in Boston. Justin Verlander out in Oakland there. Kyle Harrison gets the Mets. Bailey Ober, James Paxton, Yu Darvish round out that 8K range. So with 11 games, a healthy player pool at the pitching position, but do you find anybody in that range that you're looking to target?
Have you looked at the numbers for the San Diego Padres against left-handed pitching this season? It has been not good at all. And they just lost Xander Bogaerts to a fractured shoulder. Carlos Rodon. I mean, this Yankees rotation has been surprisingly really, really good. It's unreal. Yeah, I see one stumble there on those, on those numbers right there. And I mean, it's just, I think he's in a great spot. San Diego definitely struggling there. I'd be intrigued by using him at 9,200. I know that somebody, he's going up against Yu Darvish, who hasn't given up a run in 25 innings. That is, so he's due.
You get the Juan Soto revenge game here, going back to San Diego. So
that's there. I looked down to, Verlander's Verlander and he's good. But again, this Oakland lineup has been surprisingly strong against right-handed pitching.
Sure.
Just they're mid. So they're not terrible. There are worse lineups. Like looking at the Mets against left-handed pitching puts me onto Kyle Harrison.
Sure.
From this tier, it's Rodon and Harrison are my two favorite.
Yeah, Mets against left-handed pitching here. 288 WOBAs, 23rd in baseball, just a 127 ISO, 224 batting average. They don't really strike out, just a 19% strikeout rate against left-handed pitching. And the Padres actually are in the same boat. They're right next to each other, 23rd and 24th in strikeout rate against left-handed pitching, but they're just not hitting them. They're not doing anything for average. They're right next to each other, bottom 5 in the league there in average and WOBA. So, for sure could go there. I don't mind Verlander, as you mentioned. Obviously, Oakland has their ups and downs offensively. Going down a little bit further, any value pitchers for you on this slate?
It's really kind of tough. I mean, there's some guys who, might intrigue. No. I mean,
I have one.
Give it to me, please.
It's weird because it's in Coors.
Oh.
But Christopher Sanchez.
Against the Rockies, huh?
Yeah. I think I personally like Christopher Sanchez as a starting pitcher.
I do as well.
You've seen his recent pricing. He's been much higher, but he's in Coors, so he's going to naturally get the price decrease here. Yes. Guys like Tovar and McMahon have started to hit the ball a little bit better. Elias Diaz at homer. So that offense they're coming around. They got healthier. I think they have Chris Bryant back in their lineup as well. I'm still willing to throw some darts here against the Rockies lineup. They've proven this season that even at home, they haven't been great offensively. And I think that, there's going to be win equity behind Sanchez here with the Phillies lineup, in Coors. You definitely top to bottom a stronger offense here. So for me, for value, you just want to throw some darts out there. I'm good with Christopher Sanchez here.
All right. Okay. I can dig that. As your pay down, 7,200. There's nobody further down that I want to touch.
Nope. I agree with you. Moving on over to the catcher position here then. Again, where you can go if you want to spend up. We like to generally look in the mid and value tiers here. Any notable names for you?
Notable names. Looking down, I'm looking down in the value tier right now. I guess no. No. Nuh-uh. Bo Naylor, if he's playing, maybe going up against. Oh no, he's a lefty. No, never mind.
I would go Gabe Moreno 33 against Garrett. I know, we've been waiting for Moreno to.
Yeah, I can't.
Hits in 3 or 4. He's 3,300. It's a left. It is the lefty matchup. Let me pull up the Moreno splits here and just see, because earlier this year, like, lefties were the only split that he was hitting.
Dude, I've dropped him in season-long fantasy. He's just not productive.
Yeah, a lot of those guys are sort of in that offense. Lourdes has really struggled. We know Corbin Carroll struggles here against left-handed pitching this season. He's just bad all around. He's not hitting.
You know what? What about Blake Sabol from the Giants going up against Christian Scott, who came back to earth wildly this past start?
Sure.
He got beaten up. I'd be intrigued by that move, maybe.
Okay, you got Reese McGuire if he plays the Red Sox. I always throw his name out there.
Yep. Amaya against Miles Michaelis.
Yeah, you're always on the Amaya play, but he's super cheap.
That's all I'm looking for. When I'm looking down this far, it's more often than not, it's a punt.
I agree. So again, we'll see who's in and out of the lineups, and we can kind of make a determination there on the catcher spot. We very rarely spend up unless we're doing stacks, with Adley Rutschman or something like that. So First base. Again, we have Coors Field in play. Harper's up to $6,200. We have the Dodgers, though, in the Great American Small Park against Graham Ashcraft here with Ohtani and Freeman. So, kind of pick your selection there. If you're looking to spend up, I don't think you can go wrong.
No, you definitely cannot go wrong at all. So, I'm not even going to pick and choose between them. They're obviously all in great matchups.
All depends on your lineup stack there, right? Like if you're playing Phillies, you're playing Harper. If you're playing Dodgers, you're probably playing Freeman in the Ohtani in the outfield, Freeman at first base, and building around there. Christian Walker against Garrett at $4,700 has been a staple of our lineups there. Walker versus a lefty, getting him under 5K feels pretty good for sure.
Stack some Yankees, little Anthony Rizzo against Yu Darvish.
I was gonna say you're waiting for that dam to break with Yu Darvish here.
I'm waiting for the dam to break, but I mean, yes, it's Juan Soto, a lefty bat returning to San Diego. Didn't Anthony Rizzo once play for the Padres too?
He did way back in the day.
So I mean, jump on some lefty Yankee bats here and see what Darvish does. You know what? I mean, listen, I'm gonna build one lineup with that because law of averages tells you that Yu Darvish is due to just get at some point or another.
You mean at 38, he's not going to just throw shutout innings for the rest of the season? Is that what you're trying to?
I'm very skeptical.
Very skeptical.
Very skeptical.
We got Ryan O'Hearn against Flexen. If that game plays, I don't mind that at 43.
Right. Yeah. Lefty Michael Busch against Michaelis. If you want to stack some Cubbies.
Yep. Candelario has hit lefties historically well. He's definitely not had a great season in Cincinnati, but James Paxton, Howard, you ready for this? Has the same K per 9 as he does walks per 9 this season.
Ooh.
At 4.9.
That's impressive. That's tough to do.
That's not good.
It's not good at all.
Not good. So maybe some Reds here. Maybe Candelario at $3,800 against Paxton if he's just going to give all the free passes around the world here.
Right. How many bases does Ellie De La Cruz get to steal around him?
That's a great question. I gotta go check out the stolen base numbers. I do know that if they get, well, they probably won't because Glasnow just pitched yesterday. Tyler Glasnow leads the league in stolen bases allowed as a starting pitcher, or at least at last check, he leads the league in stolen bases allowed. So there's something there with the Dodgers starters and their struggles to hold players on first. But still, definitely liking some Candelario. I think. I don't believe Jose Urena is going to continue to pitch well. So, Minnesota bats, I'm just going to go down swinging, I guess, there. Carlos Santana, $3,700.
Yeah, that's fine. If you want to pay down further, you can try and go a little sink or swim. The Astros, those lefty bats against Stripling. I mean, we'll obviously talk about Yordan and Kyle Tucker, but Singleton's a sink or swim guy, so can save you a couple of bucks there and get you some of the bigger boys in.
Yep, could. Lamonte Wade, obviously a guy that I always tout on here on the show.
Henry and I were doing a show last week, I guess.
Probably.
And we were going through first base, and I was like, all right, we got to give the obligatory shout out to Lamonte Wade, because if John and Pem is watching this live stream, there's zero chance that he's going to be, not going to yell at me for not mentioning Lamonte.
The man is hitting 340 with a 900 OPS.
I know.
At $3,500. Like, what are we doing? So I get it. Like, there's not a lot of counting stats around him, but at $3,500, he does have some power. He had double-digit home runs last year. So,
I just wish that he would have other position eligibility.
So they toy with it. Some days they give him outfield. Some days they give him just first base. Him being outside of the Giants Park there probably helps him out a little bit too for the power numbers. That's probably it for me down here, though.
Perfect. Let's move on to second base. What do we got?
Right. Second base, obviously big slate. All the top guys there. Altuve, Semien. You have Stott lefty with in Coors. Ketel Marte versus lefty at 5K. Westburg against Flexen. Your top five. Again, I don't think you can go wrong. Pick your stack. I like Bailey Ober as a talent, but this is probably a tough matchup for him against Texas. So, less worried about that spot for him particularly.
Yeah. I mean, I look at the top there. Marte is actually the only guy who's like actually hitting with any kind of consistency over in Arizona. They are a lot of singles though,
Yeah,
right? Like that's he had like a 20-game hit streak going,
you saw that, right?
and they were like all singles.
He had the tweet that I saw, it was when he had like a 17-game hitting streak, and during that 17-game hitting streak, his batting average actually dropped 14 points
Yes, he's
because he was 1 for 4 every day.
1 for 4.
1 for 4, 1 for 4. We do have the Angels facing a lefty here, Howard. So we do get one of my favorite split matchups to talk about. That's Luis Rengifo. I'll say his name correctly for the fans at home. The man's already, I mean, again, 340, 985 OPS over the last 10 games, and he is just monster split numbers against left-handed pitching. I'll refresh those for maybe the new viewers here of the show. What feels like a month ago now, we did a show where I was like, you absolutely have to plug him in our lineup. You put him in your best bets article. He immediately like doubled and scored a run, and we were all super happy with it. Against left-handed pitching this season, he is hitting 440. That's good. With a 600 slugging percentage and 1,000 OPS, 462 WOBA. So Renifo with the second base, third base eligibility here today. If you're not paying up for the big boys, I think that is where I'm looking to settle in on this second base position.
It also helps that Logan Allen is allowing a 364 weighted on base average against left-handed hitters.
That certainly helps. He sucks versus lefties. We got a guy that absolutely.
I mean, he sucks versus everybody, but
sucks versus everybody rather, and he sucks versus righties, and he's going to get smacked. So, yeah, I like that a lot in that spot there. Again, if you're stacking twins, Edouard Julian's there.
Yeah, good sinker swim, little power there. Nico Horner's still priced down there at $4,000. Yeah. He's definitely woken up. So I like the fact that he's priced down. Tyro Estrada, by the way, that dude's woken up a little bit lately as well. Not a huge amount of production from him, but some steady, a lot more consistent than what we've seen beforehand. I'm looking over here, his game log. Yeah, it's not great immediately, but he did have that home run there, and
yeah, he's got some power, some speed. I don't hate it if you're looking to go some Giants there against Scott. Guys moving down, Brendan Rodgers, he's basically in baseball because he hits lefties or had been hitting lefties again. I like Sanchez on this slate as a spend down play, but Rodgers at $3,700. This is basically what he's there for, to hit in cores against lefties. If Jorge Mateo's in a lineup against Flexen, he's got some speed. Blaze Alexander, I know he's cooled off big time for you, but $3,500 again gets the lefty matchup against Garrett. I guess Jonathan India.
Lux in Cincinnati going up against Ashcraft. Sure. He'll probably bat ninth in that lineup there.
Yep. So a couple of value plays here. We'll get official lineups and we'll get a better idea of who's going to be in or out. At third base, again, you can spend up. Alec Boehm versus a lefty in cores feels pretty damn good. Yes, but he is $6,100, so not cheap. Ramirez versus Sandoval. Rafi Devers had the home run streak come to an end the other day, but he is $5,800 there. You obviously mentioned Renifo if you wanted to go there. Bregman in the mid tier, so no shortage of third base options here.
Yeah, still also waiting for Christopher Morel to hit that next home run so that we can jump on that bandwagon there once again. So
agreed.
Yeah, good mid tier guys there.
Let's see. Oblique strain, placed in the injured list.
Oh, yeah, he's still out.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if we had if he could have been activated for this slate, because I wouldn't have hated that.
Oh, no, I think he's out for a little while.
Lewis is running the bases. He's been out forever. Josh Smith, again, I like Bailey Ober, but Smith, $3,900 came through for us the other day. You have Candelario with that dual positional eligibility.
What about Joey Ortiz going up against Cutter Crawford?
Sure. Listen, Cutter Crawford has been good, but we've talked about the Brewers this year against right-handed pitching. They've been really good. Joey Ortiz was in your stock watch video. You should go check that out over on the Fantasy Farm YouTube page. Eugenio Suarez has the lefty spot at 36. I know he hasn't been great. Let's see. Any other values down here?
I don't really see anybody that,
I was
kind
gonna
of.
say, I reached Danny Mendick, so usually our cue
That's
to
our
move.
and scene
That's
for
our
the
cue to move.
shortstops.
That's our cue to move. Shortstop has Gunnar Henderson, right? Gunnar Henderson, Ellie De La Cruz, Mookie Betts. Yeah, elite.
All in great spots.
All in great spots. Obviously, if Paxton's going to be walking everybody, Ellie could have 5 stolen bases, in 3 at bats there. Corey Seager, Homer's starting to come around. The power's starting to be there. Again, I like Ober, but if you're going up against Ober in this one, Seager would be a spot to look for. Tovar, as we talked about,
Oh,
really
you
starting to
skipped
come
right
around.
over Anthony Volpe,
I did.
man.
I
Skipped
know
right over him.
you're going Yankees.
I'm just saying. I mean, there's a hit streak going on there. You're seeing some extra base hits. He's obviously, I mean, the runs scored are there for you. You've got some steals. I mean, there's just something, if you're stacking Yankees, I mean, that top part of the order. I don't know find out who's batting ninth. Do a wraparound stack there. Go 9-1-2 and just get yourself Volpe and Soto in there.
Sure, that works.
Damn right it does, Johnny.
It's fine. You got Payne yet 45.
Yeah.
Edmund Sosa, I talked about him the other day. Came through with the homer. Howard, you were, you were iffy on
Did
Edmund
Sosa hit a homer today?
He did against the Rangers.
Way to go!
I read you the numbers against lefties. He's basically Barry Bonds versus lefties this year. Got another lefty. He's got him in course. Ty Black. What's Ty Black going to do here? So, give me some Edmundo Sosa, man. $3,800 for a value play here. I like that spot for him.
He didn't homer today.
No, he homered yesterday.
Oh yeah, 3 for 4 with a run scored today. That's it.
I'm just saying the guy hits lefties well. So
he does hit lefties well. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it.
Dansby, 3,200 still.
Okay.
I'm gonna be playing Dansby Swanson in lineups as long as he's this cheap. Look at back-to-back games, paying off the price tag. If they're gonna keep him this cheap, you should be looking to get him in your stacks as well.
Dude, I was eyeballing a Cubs stack also, so I like that. I definitely do. Anything further down there? Nothing in particular really catches my eye.
Yeah, I agree with you. There was a tweet earlier today that came out and said Ceddanne Rafaela leads all American League rookies in like homers, RBIs, hits, blah 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 blah. Like he's basically the best American League rookie statistically, but he's hitting like 190. So I'm not gonna chase those numbers there. Outfield. I imagine you're plugging Soto, $6,500.
I have to use Soto. He's definitely in there. Kyle Tucker, 100%.
Tucker for sure. Yeah.
Dude, Aaron Judge. Can we just say what Aaron Judge has been doing so far? Like, I mean, it's impossible to get like him and Soto in there. It's going to be very, very tough to get that kind of a Yankee stack, and you kind of have to go either or. But my lord, man.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go some mid-tier value tier pitching or a lot of punts elsewhere to get the double Yankee outfield.
It's kind of what I like. I mean, and listen, obviously ownership can help you make a ton of decisions there, but when you've got this many high-end players in such great spots, it really makes it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, I agree with you. Again, Schwarber is actually hitting lefties better than righties this year, for whatever that matters. Gets him in course at 58. Spencer Steer, I know he was on your trending down for your stock watch, but again, if Paxton's just gonna be wild with it,
just a good buy. When he's down on my stock watch, because I say it, he's a good buy low.
Yeah,
like that's what it is. The stock watch is doing. It's just gauging public perception of players and who's rising in value and who isn't. Now there are some that are, obviously, whatever. Go watch the stock watch.
Go watch the stock watch, people. Yeah,
go watch the stock watch.
You couldn't spend a better 5 minutes of your time than checking out this week's stock watch there. Castellanos is 48. Again, I know the numbers this year haven't been what we'd hoped, but historically, just an absolute lefty killer. Kepler there at 48. Bellinger's at 48. You want to talk Yankees? Giancarlo Stanton. That guy might be hitting 40 home runs this year, Howard.
Yeah, he's definitely been been on a nice little tear here. What's he got, like 10, 11, 12 on the season?
Yeah, he homered today as well. So,
Giancarlo, baby.
The
I
power
love it, and I
is
like
there.
the price.
Still can't run the bases, but he can hit home runs. Let's see. Buxton had the double dong the other day. It's Seiya versus Mikolas in the middle tier. Where do you go next, though? What's your
Larnack? You get those lefty Twins bats in there. We had talked about O'Hearn earlier, also. Brenton Doyle, actually, I think he's been hitting lefties fairly well, and he's probably going to be leading off against Sanchez. So if you want a little something going back,
sure,
to your Phillies stack, there it is.
Yeah, you got I mentioned earlier, like Lourdes had really been struggling, but a lot of those struggles have been against righties. This year against lefties, Howard, he's hitting 362 against left-handed pitching on the year. So overall, 190 ISO against southpaws. So while the numbers on a whole don't look good, he's got a little hit streak going. Homered the other day. Maybe he's starting to come out of that that April or March, April, May, March, April, do the months, April slump there, May slump, whatever month we're in here. I can't do math right now. And he gets a lefty spot there against Garrett. So I'm happy to give him a plug, give him the numbers against lefties.
There you go. Verdugo at 41 against Darvish. Yes, thank you.
Sure.
You want to try for Mullins, and maybe he does something against Flexen, but I'm not really. I'm so disappointed in what's going on with Baltimore, with the exception of Gunnar Henderson right now. And that includes Adley Rutschman, who's been super quiet for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, young team, right? So they're going to go through their ups and downs here at times. I'm pulling up JD Martinez here for a second. I know we kind of like Kyle Harrison, and Kyle Harrison may end up being a pitcher we have to use today if we're going to be spending up on two Yankees outfielders. But there was a point in JD Martinez's career where he hit like 500 versus lefties. Doing it this year. Again, only a 10-game sample size. 22 at-bats, but he's hitting 421 against lefties on the year with a 1,000 OPS, 526 slug. So JD Martinez, if you're not in on Kyle Harrison, maybe a little solo plug. Let's see. What else do we got going for us as we work our way down? Weiler Rayu homered the other day. Pajes, Tachman will lead off at 39. Pilar still hitting cleanup for the Angels. So he'll against Allen 3,800.
I'd rather try out Adele than Pilar. I'll see. Let me save $100 on that one.
I mean, I hear you. I'm just saying this dude is just not stopping right
now. Yeah. Frelick in the middle of that order there against Crawford. If you want to feed into some lefty bats,
okay,
that's definitely something. Kirilloff going up against Urania.
Sure.
I think that's a good spot.
Jake Myers, 3,200. Keep running that guy out there.
Who?
Jake Myers.
Yeah, definitely keep running him out there. Luis Matos, still hot as well. Going up against Christian Scott. He's been playing nicely.
Yep. A lot of value outfielders. Obviously, 11 games.
A lot of value outfielders.
Plenty of depth here. Let's see. Anything else? Might be it for me.
You don't want to use Gavin Sheets against Corbin Burns? I bet you Sheets hits a home run.
Probably would, but I'm not going to use him. Get Pico Armstrong at 2,700. That's it. All right, let's get a lineup build here. All right, you want to go Soto Judge? Is that what you want to do here?
No. Let's start with the pitching. Let's be sensible here.
All right. Well, that would give us 4,650. So just keep that in mind as
4,650. Let's settle it on the pitching, because I mean I think what we're going to need to do to build this. You said you already talked about Harrison. I mean, where do you if we're not going to go Imanaga Burns, I'd go Rodon. I would go Gallen, but Rodon saves us $1,000 on that.
Sure.
I would do Rodon and Harrison. That's what I would do. Okay.
Rodon and Harrison are in. If we did Rodon Harrison with Judge and Soto, that gives us 3,200 a player. So
that's almost impossible.
A little tough to do. We'll go down at catcher here. Let's see. You've been talking to Maya up, so we'll plug him in at 26 just to get some value there.
Get a huge punt going there, huh?
Yeah, why not? Started off strong. I want to play Rengifo. Do you want to play him at second or third?
That's fine. What I guess we should probably also look into is where are we going to get our cores exposure?
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, the problem is they're all left. Bohm, I guess, right? So we put Bohm at third.
I mean, we don't have to do it. We can fade cores. I'm fine fading cores. I always, it's always like, the first game at cores for the visiting team. Rarely do they just like completely tee off.
Sure. I plug Bohm and Sosa. That's 61 and 38.
Okay. And got Rengifo in there.
Yeah, got Rengifo in there.
3,800. Boy, that smells like Lamonte Wade.
We're working our way down to Lamonte Wade at 3,500.
Let's find some value in the outfield first.
All right. How about Pete Crow Armstrong? He's 2,700.
Match him up with Amaya. We get that bottom end of that order.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. That gives us 4,500 per outfielder.
Much more sensible.
If we did Soto, we wouldn't be able to. We'd have a $2,500 outfielder. So we're going to have to live in the mid-tier here.
Which, again, I'm not going to hate.
No.
I'm not going to hate.
Do Ballinger. Just get another Cub in there.
And
we could go Stanton and just get the cheaper Yankee outfielder.
The cheaper Yankee outfielder, maybe it's Verdugo.
True. Could go Verdugo. Stan's got more power, though.
He does have more power. He's also got,
let's see. Whit Merrifield's here. Hasn't been great.
No.
Has not been great. All right, 4,500. Excuse me.
All right, so, I mean, if you want to put Stanton in, you can put Stanton in there, and that gives us what?
40. That gives us 43. 43 is Larnick. Get him against Urania.
Or Lourdes. Don't you want to go Lourdes?
Yeah, let's go Lourdes. All right. So let's see. We have Harrison, Rodon, Amaya, Wade, Rengifo, Bohm, Sosa, Crow Armstrong, Stanton, and Gurriel with $100 left over. Again, fitting in some Coors bats. It's obviously expensive there with Alec Bohm at $6,100. You could save a little bit of money there and go down into the mid-tier somewhere to help you save some cash and maybe spend up at pitching. But we'll be back live at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Get all the updated lineups, roster news, weather updates as well to get you all ready for this 11-game main slate. Our guy James Grande will be on the playbook. Myself and Henry Wilson will be here at 4 p.m. Eastern time to break it all down for you. Until then, everybody, though, make sure you hit that like and subscribe on the Fantasy Alarm YouTube channel so you get alerted whenever we go live here. Good luck with your lineup builds. Have a great weekend. We'll be back here with you guys all for the Monday day slate for the preview show. So enjoy that. Memorial Day. We'll talk to you then.